everybody, and welcome again to another edition of Movie Masters. I'm your host, Movie Master Mike.
And I'm Boston Boy.
And we are back and just as mediocre as ever with an audio commentary to the Phase 1 Marvel movies. We're going to start out in order. So we're doing Iron Man today, which came out in 2008. And if you've never done one of these before, listen to one of these commentaries on YouTube. We're going to be watching the movie and doing our best to commentate during the whole movie and kind of describe what's going on in the scenes, behind the scenes knowledge that we might have, or theories, or just things that we liked and disliked about it. Yeah, all that stuff.
Right.
And you can totally watch along with us by getting your DVD or Blu-ray past all the menu screens and timestamp 0. So when you hit play on your DVD menu screen, pause it at 0, and then when I say hit play now, you'll hit play now, and we can all watch it together. Or if you know the movie well enough,
you can just listen.
You can just listen to us blabber about the movie, and you can picture it, because we'll be trying to describe the scenes and stuff sometimes. So you can be like, "Oh, they're talking about that scene. I can totally see it in my head and stuff." So, let's go ahead and get started. So hit play on your DVD player or Blu-ray player, right?
Get ready, and let's give it some time. 3, 2, 1, now.
All right, we hit play, and here's the Paramount. It was a Paramount Pictures that summer. I think Paramount is still doing the majority of them. I know they did the Avengers movies.
Yeah. Because
at the time, Marvel Studios wasn't as in like a giant conglomeration as they are now. Because this is their first movie they released as their own studios.
Yeah.
So they had to have backing from other studios, Paramount. And the one that came out the same summer as this, 2008, was The Incredible Hulk, and that was Universal.
Right.
And then I can't remember what Thor was. I think Thor might have been Paramount as well, but I can't remember. All right, the movie has started. A Marvel Studios production.
With some military vehicles.
Coming down the sand in the desert.
And in comes the AC/DC.
Yeah, I love how AC/DC was like the soundtrack to Iron Man in these movies.
I think it worked really well.
Yeah, it definitely fit like his personality, the whole like rock and roll like image.
Right.
I mean, I love AC/DC. I mean, I'm not like a diehard fan, but like when they're on the radio, I'm like, turn it up a bit.
You can bang your head too,
yeah, exactly.
Bob your head anyway. Tap your foot maybe.
But it was weird because like in the third movie, it starts off with like some weird '90s band, because it took the opening of Iron Man 3 took place like in 1999, New Year's Eve, turning to 2000. So they didn't really use any AC/DC, which I thought was a real drag, but it worked well in the first two movies, and Avengers they even used it
a little bit.
Yeah. And do you remember when this movie came out? Like, were you like into like the movie scene at all back then in 2008?
I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it shortly after it came out. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you exactly where or when, but it was pretty shortly. I was pretty amped for it. I did not see it in theaters.
I didn't see it in theaters either. I've never really been a big movie theater guy because I collect movies.
Yeah. So
it's like, why spend $10 to see it once when in less than 6 months I'm going to buy it for $20 and I can watch it whenever. I have a 55-inch screen TV, surround sound, giant speakers. Yeah. So it's like I get the theater experience at home. Why waste the money? But on some movies I did.
And you can pause it and walk away or whatever. That's my thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, some movies I do go see in theaters, but this was not one of them. And I remember, Robert Downey Jr., I was like, really? As a superhero?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see him in a whole lot of things up until this. I'd seen him in, what's that crazy movie with Woody Harrelson?
Oh, Murder, something about murder. And there's a part where they explode. And by the way, I kind of wanted to mention that, and I'm going to think of that movie in just a moment, but when that part was coming up, the whole time you were waiting, I thought they did that kind of poorly. The way it was set up, like, all right, it's going to explode now. Like, there's other movies where it takes you by surprise, you get sideswiped or whatever.
Right, yeah. This one was fairly predictable that, like, oh, things are going great, everything's okay, boom. Yeah.
But you kind of see it set up, like, take a picture. They're driving in the middle, you knew it was going to happen. But the story of Iron Man, or most people do.
I didn't know it super well. I knew he was like a prisoner of war, and he built his Iron Man suit, but other than that, I didn't really know. And
they tweaked it a little bit, of course, in the movie.
Well, yeah, because originally in the comics it was like Korea, because that's what was happening at the time.
Exactly.
And so I love the fact that they updated it to like Iraq or Afghanistan, because like that's relevant now. And I love how he looks at the bomb and it's a Stark Industries bomb.
Industries, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, but that's part of the story too. Like, he was the warmonger, and he realizes that terrorists, or the enemy has his stuff. So he's like, "Fuck, I gotta stop doing this." Yeah. So he stops doing the whole.
And his top of the line flak jacket here doesn't stop the shrapnel.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. He's wearing like a bulletproof vest that he probably designed, and it still didn't help. But
it's also a Stark Industries bomb, so maybe meant to penetrate that kind of armor.
That's very true. But I remember Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers. Yeah. Boom. I knew there's something I needed to come back to in Natural Born Killers. Yeah.
But I liked him in that. I didn't really see him in anything else.
One of the last things you see where he's a drug addict. That's all anyone talks about him, And then that was all I was thinking. A lot of people were talking about leading into the movie, like, oh, how's he gonna do? And I don't know about your thoughts. I'm still a little disappointed with him. I mean, he's grown on me as Iron Man, but I had a different picture of Iron Man in my mind. I also grew up with the cartoon and the comics, you know what I mean? And he's a little more chiseled and. I mean, thin. The facial hair, I think, kind of, they try to pull that off with him, but,
I liked, I didn't notice it, like, the first couple times I watched this movie. Well, just a minute ago, they took the bag over his head, after he got the shrapnel on him, and he's a prisoner of the terrorists. Mm. And it's the 10 Rings organization. There's 10 rings in the background. And the Mandarin wears 10 rings, so... Right. We'll get to Iron Man 3 later on, but... They had to change the 10 rings to actual rings that you wear on a finger, the Makluan rings that the Mandarin has, which are, you think they're magical, you think it's technology Iron Man against magical Mandarin, but really it's like alien technology, but it seems like magic. But to change it to 10 Rings terrorist organization was grounding it in reality and making it relevant, and it really worked. And in the third movie, they set up, the Mandarin was... the Osama bin Laden of the 10 Rings, and it worked so well. Then they ruined it in that movie, and like I said, we'll get to that, when we get to it. But it was such a great setup that they set it up in this movie as they're a terrorist organization, not just actual rings. Right. So I thought it was a great setup for the world they were creating within the movie. It's not strictly from page to screen. Yeah. They adapted it for a movie, and it totally worked until the third movie. Right. But
totally agree. I wish we could talk more about that now. But we'll have to.
But we just saw like a little montage of like Tony's dad and Stain here, where like Genius is growing up, and then his dad dies, so he kind of stepped up. And now it's him and Stain are like these two geniuses on the cover of Popular Mechanics and People Magazine and all that stuff.
I thought they did pretty good on that too. It kind of looked genuine. You know what I mean? If that were actually, they were actually the guys that were popular and running a large company.
Yeah. So. The casting of James Rhodes in this movie is, I can't think of his name, but I didn't...
Which changed later, but...
Right, and I like the change. Terrence Howard. He's a good actor, and I think he's won awards, or at least has been nominated, but I don't think he fit. I don't like him.
I agree, yeah.
I think the other guy...
I think when I first watched this, I didn't even realize that he was Rhodey until later on. Like, oh my goodness, that's Rhodey, But
yeah. I just don't think he's black enough. I mean, as racist as that might seem.
Well, no, I that's part of I think what it is. Yeah, growing up, he's a black guy,
Yeah. So like he's just Terrence Howard's a very fair-skinned black guy. Yeah. And as racist as that might seem, like I just always pictured him being a darker black man.
I don't think he's racist. Personally, I don't see how that's racist, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. So I mean, not that Terrence Howard does a bad job in this movie or anything. I just think
the guy standing behind him right here, that maybe he'd make a better Rhodey.
Yeah, he just will lose some weight. But Don Cheadle was a much better replacement, I thought.
Yeah, I think they probably realized that and therefore replaced him. Plus, Don Cheadle's a much better known actor, I think.
Yeah.
Although Terrence Howard, he's done a few things, but
yeah, definitely. We see. The reporter here, which she makes a reappearance in the second movie, she's doing an interview with Justin Hammer. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the actor who plays Justin Hammer's wife in reality, this actress here.
No, she's pretty hot, man.
Yeah, definitely. But we get to see the director in his role in this movie. They were just gambling in a casino just now, and he's in the background in these away shots. Jon Favreau, he directed this movie, and he's also in it. He plays Happy Hogan, his bodyguard and friend. Yeah.
Minor roles, but kind of what do you call it?
It's kind of weird, directors when they put themselves in the movies. It's kind of weird. And I think they made fun of it in the Star Wars Family Guys. Yoda, he's like, ever seen Iron Man? Like how he's in his own movie, but you don't mind it so much in that movie because he seems like the kind of guy that if you asked him to help you move, he totally would. But my first, he did the movie Rounders with with what's his name in the 90s.
With Matt. God, why can't I ever think of anything?
I don't know. It's always like on the spot. I draw complete.
I know.
blanks.
Biggest actor, one of the biggest. Matt Damon.
No, that wasn't Rounders. He was in Matt Damon was in Rounders. No, I'm thinking of that other movie that he did with the guy from all those cheesy comedy movies, the tall guy, Vince Vaughn. I forget what that movie's called. But he was made famous for that movie.
Right.
And it was kind of a comedy, like with their Hot Shots in Vegas. I think it was kind of like Rounders.
Yeah.
And but my first.
There's also in a dark comedy I watched, and I can't remember. Very Bad Things. He was in that too. I don't know if he directed it. I doubt it, but yeah, he was just an actor. But funny movie.
Yeah, that's a sweet ass fucking house that he has there in Malibu,
man,
California.
Imagine that. Top of a mountain.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
He's got guitars in the background. He's probably playing some AC/DC. But my first impression of Jon Favreau was on Friends. He was a recurring character on season 3 of Friends as this billionaire guy who owned his own company, and he was trying.
I was watching Friends earlier. As little as I like Friends personally, my wife watches it, and she had it on, and I haven't seen him in it, so I guess I haven't seen much of season 3. Yeah,
season 3. He's like this billionaire. He's trying to get with Monica, and they finally get together. Like she's like, nah, I just don't feel it for him, and then finally she does, and they get together, and he wants to become a UFC fighter. It's hilarious, and he sucks so bad at it. But they have to break up because she's like, I want you to stop, but he's like in a full body cast, and he's like, if you're asking me to stop, and you're asking me to be somebody I'm not, then break up or anything. But he's actually quite funny in the show. Like he's in this body cast, like he can't move his arms, and he's like, you see this? He's like barely moving. He's like, this is my zone of terror. It's really funny, but I know you're not a huge fan of Friends, but I love it. And so that was my first experience.
It's mildly entertaining. But I mean, a lot of people compare it with Seinfeld, and I think there's really no contest.
Oh yeah, Seinfeld is way funnier.
Yeah.
I think Friends was more like emotional.
Yeah, and if you really follow it, I can see the appeal. Like it came with a lot of things, but just not really my thing.
Yeah. But anyway, that was my first interaction or whatever with him. So seeing him in other things, and like, oh, Jon Favreau's directing Iron Man, cool.
Yeah, and he does a pretty good job of the directing this movie. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Pepper Potts here. She's the nagging, I'm trying to help you run your business, and you don't really give a crap.
Yeah.
He's just too busy tinkering with his toys and stuff. And do you like Gwyneth Paltrow at all?
Yeah, I think she was a good choice for Pepper, actually.
I think so too. I think she's great. I think both her and him are getting up there in age now.
Yeah.
I think it was after this movie he even says, like oh yeah, I could play a superhero. I'm in my mid 40s or whatever. Like I probably got 4 or 5 years left to do something like this, and it's already been 7.
Yeah.
And it's still going. So he even said he doesn't have too much longer to play the still in shape.
Not that he's even in great shape for this, but he's in good shape overall. And not that he has to be a muscle guy. He's wearing a giant metal suit, but
right.
And I think they have good chemistry. I mean, right here, and more as the movie goes on. What they're doing, I can see why Robert Downey Jr. was a good choice. He's more of a comedic, and that keeps you engaged. And,
his charismatic, you see here, because it's like a flashback from the opening scene where he gets bombarded in the shrapnel.
Yeah.
And he's just like a pompous asshole. Like he doesn't care. He sleeps with the girls he wants. He does what he wants. He gambles and drinks and doesn't care. He drives his fast car super fast, and he just doesn't care. And then the transformation of him being a prisoner of war, and so you actually
become responsible and
so you actually get to see a character development in the movie, which most movies should have, but not all do. But this one does it well.
Yeah.
And Jon Favreau, watching behind the scenes of him, going over what the armor will look like and all the stuff that he do, pre-production. He's big. He's big. He's 300 pounds. He's a big guy. And he's already kind of a big, tall kind of dude.
Right.
But he lost a lot of weight for this movie.
Yeah.
And he said everything changed. Like my shirt size, my pant size, my shoe size changed. Everything was different. Because I lost 100 pounds. He lost a lot of weight.
Wow.
This scene, they're on the airplane going to Afghanistan to test his new missiles and.
What are they called? The Jericho missiles.
The Jerichos, yeah. And turns out no. He's like, no, I'm not drinking. I'm going to be responsible. Then it cuts to him, pissed drunk.
And they're all
girls dancing
right
and
here.
shit. Yeah.
Heat of a sake, right?
Yeah, sake. We're working right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, he doesn't do a bad job. I just think Don Cheadle's much better.
Yeah.
I like Don Cheadle.
Well, I don't think it was. I wasn't saying knock on his acting.
No,
just him, his face. You know, he doesn't work.
Yeah. I just don't see him as Rhodey. I see Don Cheadle as Rhodey.
Yeah.
Because like in this, like they try to make him like the military guy, but he just seems like, his friend. Like he doesn't seem very military in this movie.
Yeah.
And Don Cheadle was very, especially in the second one when
he looks good in a uniform.
Yeah, like when he takes the Mark I armor and takes it, and Justin Hammer is showing off his stuff, like he's just standing there like stone cold face, like not saying anything, and even Justin Hammer in the movie is like, you got to give me something, I can't read you guys, So he was just much better at being the military James Rhodes.
Right.
I mean, they both did a great job as Rhodey, his friend, but Don Cheadle was definitely better at James Rhodes, the military man. I thought the way he delivered this was kind of weird. Like, that's the way my dad did it. That's the way America does it. Like, it sounded like he was going to say that's the way somebody else does it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He just says, and it works out pretty well so far.
Yeah.
And it's like that. That's always stuck out to me, the way he said this line. But it's memorable. I mean, I remember it, so it kind of does its job. See, it sounded like he was supposed to say something else, but he didn't.
Yeah.
I think they're just in like New Mexico or somewhere, maybe in California for this. They didn't actually go overseas anywhere.
Afghanistan, yeah. It looks like maybe even Arizona.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
No, I'm pretty sure it was either New Mexico or California.
Yeah.
Or somewhere like that. I don't think it was that. I would have remembered if they said Arizona, because we obviously live in Arizona. But I mean, it looks like a shitty place to live, so it could be Arizona.
Yeah. Must be Arizona.
Those mountains are pretty beautiful. If it was like grass instead of dirt underneath, desert. Because the mountains have snow on them.
Right.
So it looks nice. That's a pretty cool fucking briefcase.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
Drinking and blowing up bombs and shit. That's kind of a weird phone.
Yeah, that's when I was watching this a couple days ago, I was thinking, at the time it was cool, but just how technology moves so quickly. I mean, that's, he's the billionaire, you know what I mean, a multi-billionaire, and
yeah, his technology.
The phone he's got right now is crappy, you know what I mean? I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, it's just weird because, like, in 2008, like, I think the Razr flip phone was, like, just... It was, like, at its end.
Right.
Smartphones were first starting to come out, like...
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Like, now it's flash forward to him after the shrapnel. Yeah. He's getting operated on. It's real blurry and everything. But yeah, the technology. I just thought it was weird because, like, it's like you hold, like, a phone, like, long ways, then his screen, like, flips sideways. So the screen was horizontal, but you could still text with T9.
Right.
And without a smaller screen, it was flipped sideways, so the screen was bigger. It was just kind of a weird design.
Yeah. I remember at the time when I first watched it, like, if that phone was available, yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, oh, that's kind of cool. You can text and the
maybe I'd have it right now, but yeah, at this point, I would pass.
No.
I would pay very little for it.
Yep. That's one of those phones you get like your grandfather who has no idea about technology, but it's better than like having a house phone because you can take it with him.
Right.
And then this guy, what was his name in this movie? I forget. They'll say it.
Some with an S, I think. Like Saul or something.
Yeah. But he did a good job. I liked him in this.
Mm.
This is probably my favorite part of the whole movie, is him in the cave. Figuring out how to survive, how to deal with the terrorists, how to build, like what to build, how to build it, them pretending like they're building missiles, really building the thing. Like I guess
we'll talk about it a little more in a minute, but yeah, I'll talk about it more in a minute. Yeah, this part. Imagine the terror, though, of seeing you're hooked up to a car battery.
Yeah, and you're in a cave somewhere in Afghanistan. Like, that sucks.
In reality, that would be miserable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And little tiny pieces of metal in that little jar that he took out of his heart.
Yeah.
Little tiny pieces of metal. Big enough, though.
The Walking Dead, he calls it, and I thought that was cool because this is before the Walking Dead show came out.
Yeah, the comic might have been around, but it wasn't a phenomenon like it is now.
Yeah.
Up to a car battery. It's crazy. Yeah, I like what they did with this movie. Like overall, changing everything that they changed to make it their own, like, world.
Right.
You know, and little did we know that a month later, when the Incredible Hulk came out, which is a whole different, supporting studio, like I said, Universal.
Yeah.
That he was at the end of that movie. So you're like, at the time, it was like, what? They're gonna connect the movies? Like, what the fuck? It was fucking mind blowing at the time.
Yeah.
Now here come the terrorists.
Yeah.
To tell them, we want you to make more Jerichos for us. I always wonder if like do they cast people that can actually speak, Arabic or whatever they're speaking, or because I know like back in the day, like when they made like westerns were real popular, like in the 50s and stuff.
Yeah.
There'd be like Native Americans in the movie, and there'd be like a lot of times there'd be white guys in some paint and pretending to speak a language, and it's just gibberish, like they're not saying it correctly at all, and they didn't care, like.
Yeah, I was wondering when I was watching this a couple days ago. I was wondering, like, if people that were Arabic are watching this, are they understanding what they're saying? With the subtitles or whatever.
Yep, and are they saying like, "Oh, that guy's dialect is way off"? Like, he said that wrong.
Right.
Like I always wonder.
And then I wonder about casting. Like, sometimes you find these roles that are so obscure and just crazy. Like, I guess some of these people have agents, but I don't know. Like, to find the guy that looks the right way, speaks Arabic, for example, in this movie, but there's. I don't know a good example right now, but like midgets. Yeah. Sometimes you find movies with 1,000 freaking midgets. Little people, whatever the politically correct terminology is. They all just flock to Hollywood. I see a midget like once a year.
Yep.
A little person.
Yeah, whatever. That was a cool effect when they take the bag off his head.
Yeah. I was in a situation like that a couple days ago where you walk from a very dark to very bright, very bright. Like, it's like
Yeah, it's very disorienting. He's holding the car battery. That's gotta suck.
Yeah. If I drop this, I'm dead.
Yeah, it'll unplug from my chest. Fuck. Yeah, he's realizing, holy shit, they have so much of my fucking weapons. Oh my god.
Stark Industries.
Stark Industries is on everything. Every bullet case, every missile case, every missile, every bazooka, missile launcher. It's all mine. Yeah, it's like, is he actually speaking Arabic, or is it just... I mean, I'm sure in today's Hollywood he actually is.
Yeah.
Like I said, like back in the 50s, they didn't give a fuck. They just, threw maybe got a few words right.
Yeah, and I mean, the budget for a movie like that was drop in the ocean compared to what it is now.
I know, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, what is this character's name? They probably said it already, we just weren't paying attention.
Jensen?
Jensen, Jensen. Yeah, it's cool that he makes a reappearance in the
doesn't he refer to him, is it Jensen that he calls him, or is he talking about his last name? I feel like
I think they just call him Jensen. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the only name he has on the IMDb page, so.
Right.
Yeah, you can see the transformation, like he's finally realizing, what have I done? Like, making all these missiles all these years.
It's like the guy that created the atom bomb. What is it?
Yeah, like, I have become death.
I have become death, destroyer of worlds. Like, become like, that's one of the... It's a famous quote anyway.
Yep.
Pretty cool quote, too.
Yes, very cool quote. Just to be kidnapped by terrorists. I mean, anybody would just be like the worst experience.
Sometimes I imagine, like, just being in any situation where you think you're going to be murdered, like, just...
like, why would you cooperate? Would you cooperate? Like, would you just kind of do what he's doing, just kind of sitting there like, oh my god, like, this sucks, like, not really saying anything. But this guy convinced him, like, you got to do something, come on. Yeah. So now he's like, I don't care if I'm in a cave or whatever, I'm in fucking go mode, and I'm going to tell everybody what to do. Like, you can see he's a natural leader as he's just telling all these people that are about to kill him what to do and everything.
What to get him.
Yeah, and you can see that he can put all that other crazy stuff behind him and just focus on whatever it is he's doing. Which we know what he's doing. He's building the Iron Man suit.
Right.
But they think he's building missiles. I wonder if in the comics, like, because there was an Iron Man like straight to DVD cartoon movie.
Yeah.
Back in like 2006. Before this movie, and they kept it like he was in like China trying to like pump like cement under a buried ancient city to resurrect it or something, and he was kidnapped by this Chinese like terrorist group or whatever, and he builds the Iron Man suit, and he's with Rhodey in that, and he tells Rhodey like, oh, I just kind of came up with it on the fly here. But when they go back to the States, he's already built like 50 armored suits. One thing, one water, one for space, one for this, one for that. And in this, he doesn't really like have to think about it. He just kind of knows, like, I'm going to build something that they can't shoot, like some kind of armor.
Yeah.
So I wonder if in the comics, like, he like already had an idea, like in the cartoon movie, like he's like, oh, I've already built one of these at home as a prototype just because I build stuff at home because I'm a billionaire technical genius or whatever.
Right.
Or is it something that he just kind of built on the fly in the cave, like in this movie? I'd be interested to know that.
I think it's
here it is.
former.
Here's where they say his name.
Yeah, my name is Jensen. Yeah, that is where they introduced.
Yeah, okay. I just had to wait 2 minutes and then I had to find out.
The moment they are unable to shake hands because he's pouring, what is it called?
Yeah. What did they say? Was it? They didn't use adamantium.
No, it's.
No. And it probably wasn't vibranium either. Probably just some kind of weird alloy.
Yeah, I forget. Obviously, some rare.
Yeah.
Something.
It would have been cool if it was vibranium, but definitely not. I really like the look of that thing. Like the cover of the movie that I have on DVD. Like it's got the slipcover. With the slipcover on, it's Iron Man with the mask and everything, and there's a hole in the slipcover where his
chest
piece is. And you take the slipcover off, and the chest piece is still there, but it's Tony Stark. Like it's just really cool looking. Yeah. You can get like T-shirts that have that blue thing right there.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
See, and here's what I was kind of starting to mention earlier. I mean, it's at least several weeks that they're supposed to be in this cave, right? And they're under constant supervision.
Yep.
And that entire time, they didn't send someone in there to inspect. I mean, in reality, there would be somebody probably in the room with them all the time, watching everything they're doing, if they were really in the situation. Like, that was just too far-fetched. Like, if you were really in the situation, there's 100 of these dudes out there.
Yeah.
You couldn't have the time to build this giant suit, on the side. With the cameras on you the whole time, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, the cameras aren't like super high quality or anything. I mean, we're in a cave like this. Like, here's a camera shot from one of the cameras, and it's super grainy. You can barely tell what's happening.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you would think that last scene he was telling everybody like, oh, bring these supplies in and this supply and this and put that crate over there, and you'd think that they would have, like you said, at least more than one person in there at all times. One helping him with the stuff.
Right.
So it's not just him and one other person.
Him and one guy that they don't know or trust. Let's put him with the one guy that that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So like there would definitely be more people in the room. Like probably a few people just to watch what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then a few people probably just to help what they're doing.
Right.
But it's kind of cool that they're completely isolated. Like it's just them.
Yeah.
And the guards or whatever only come in to be like, what the fuck? Where's our missiles? Like, hey, I had to fix my chest first before I could actually get up and do anything.
Yeah.
But now they're playing. What are they playing? Sudoku? No, not Sudoku.
No,
Backgammon?
Backgammon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, see, here are the guards. Here they come.
She hands up.
Yeah, but he doesn't even go in the room. He just slides the thing over. Oh, they're just sitting around, not doing anything.
Oh, that's okay. Let's just... They're not working on a missile.
They're good. They're still in there. It's okay. Everything, I mean, fucking terrorists, they probably make them work day and night, fucking, till their fucking fingers are bloody and shit. I remember when this movie came out, I had a friend that went to see it, and he was saying, like, oh, it's super badass, you gotta see it. He said, like, the beginning's really awesome, the middle, he's kind of just building his armor, and the end's really awesome. I was like, well, that doesn't sound that awesome. If in the middle is just him kind of not really doing anything superhero-y, he's just building his thing. But it is a good movie, and it kind of does have that flaw where, look, man, they're watching right here. He's like, what are they doing? That's not a missile.
Why would that be necessary to this missile?
Yeah. Well, so he does send somebody out to see what they're doing. But that should have been happening the whole time, especially since from this point on, all of these people that are on screen right now should have been in there with them the whole time. And this guy. I think some people when this movie came out were thinking like, oh, maybe this is the Mandarin because they caught on to the whole 10 rings thing.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not.
We know now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Relax. Like his eyes got really wide right there. Like, holy shit, they're gonna kill us.
Yeah, it's kind of a trip that back in the day, like a curved sword would be like you would win a war because your swords are curved, and your bow and arrow completely would change.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, if you have more horses, you win.
Right.
You know, like how crazy is that? And now, you know, our
you
kids
know, split an atom better or whatever.
And now, like, our kids have smartphones and shit.
Yeah.
Like, technology is just crazy.
And they take it completely for granted. They're just born into it. Like, they can't even imagine when they're, you know, our age.
I know, like, us growing up with, like, the Super Nintendo, and it cost, like,
and like a black and white TV.
Yeah. Like, not everybody had them because, like, they were expensive for the time, you know? They were the PS4s of today.
Right. Man, remember when Super Mario first came out for the Super Nintendo?
Oh,
so amped.
dude.
Oh,
what a great game
the
that
graphics. They're not blocks anymore.
Yeah. Have you watched the old 90s Iron Man cartoon show anytime in the
Oh,
last?
yeah. Well, not recently, but I loved it growing up, man.
I've watched it in the past couple of years, and oh my god, it's fucking terrible.
You think so?
Oh my god.
I watched it moderately recently. I didn't hate it.
It's split into 2 seasons. The first season is the worst. It is so bad. Mm-hmm. The opening is so cheesy, like it goes from traditional animation to just...
Like
no. That's the good season.
Okay. The one before that is...
the first season, like, the animation is cheesier.
But I did watch it recently, and, like, the way he's, like... His shoulders are shaped. He looks strange. Like, at the time, it wasn't weird to me, but...
Yeah, but the first season, like, it would morph from regular animation to crappy 1994 TV CG. Mm. Like, so it was really bad. And it would just change for him to fly out of the roof. Like, that's it. That was the only CG. It was like, there was absolutely no point that needed to computer generate that little bit. Like, they could have just animated it. And it would have looked way better.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And, like... Every episode had Justin Hammer working with the Mandarin and MODOK, and it's so annoying, and every episode is so cheesy and stupid. And yeah, here he is, banging the hammer. And then season 2...
This was cool, because it represented... That's what I thought of when I saw this
scene. Yeah, was the cartoon, yeah. And season 2 started with an awesome rock song. It was like, I am... Iron Man. He's bing, but it was so much cooler than the first season. That's what I remember.
Better. Maybe I just didn't see much of the first. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah, but man,
I watched them when they were new, and then I think it's on Netflix. I'll have to rewatch them.
That's a fucking badass mask. Yeah. For this Mark 1 or the.
Mark 1, yeah.
I think the Mark 1 was the one that he built that was just silver. This was the.
No, because he goes home and the first one he tries, he said, "This is the Mark II."
Oh, is it? Okay, so this is the Mark 1? Yeah, I really like the Mark 1 armor. This one, this big bulky one, I think it looks fucking sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, my son has a bunch of Iron Mans, and one of my favorite ones, they make it look a lot cooler, but it's like it's bigger, it's almost like the Hulkbuster, you know?
Yeah. But it just looks so cool, like the actual, the face, the eye slits, the mouth, holes, whatever, it just looks
almost
fucking
like a
awesome.
hockey mask.
Yeah. It just looks so cool. You think for some geniuses they would have been able to fake the cameras, put it on repeat, for them working. Yeah, this guy's such a
beady little eyes.
Yeah. You think he's ever played a good guy in a movie, or do you think he's always the bad guy?
He's got a bad guy face. There's those guys you're always the dick, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems like he'd always be the bad guy. And
it's funny that 3 months into this, he's just seeing now 5 minutes before they're ready to upload and beat everyone's ass. Yeah. That moment, they're catching on.
Yeah. They rigged something on the door. That's pretty cool.
They managed to build the entire suit in private.
And this bomb on the door.
But just him getting into the suit is what got their attention somehow. I don't get it.
Because he was behind a screen. Yeah. So what is he doing? Go check on him. This is like a one-time thing. Like, if this doesn't work, they will fucking kill us.
Yeah.
Or we'll just die in the crossfire if this doesn't work. Robert Downey Jr. is really good at fast-talking everything.
Yeah, well, that's the way he's always talked. Like, in...
Natural
help me out here, Natural Born Killers. The whole just motor mouth, you know.
Yeah.
But again, I think he was high on a lot of drugs at the time and alcohol. I don't remember. He was struggling with some kind of addiction.
The only other thing I've ever seen him in was A Scanner Darkly, and that was like that weird like cell shaded over.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it, or maybe I've seen parts of it.
I remember watching it once, and I don't remember anything about it. But Woody Harrelson's in that one too.
All right.
It's kind of strange. Did you see that Yinsen just said like, "I'll hold him off while this thing uploads before he can get going."
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't shoot anyone; just shoots at the ceiling. And they run away, even though they're all holding guns.
Yep. Yeah, he's not even shooting at them. He's just shooting, making noise and shit. A Star Wars moment.
That's awesome.
That was totally Han Solo running at him. Ah! This is fucking badass. When you only see him in the dark and just his eyes are lit up or whatever.
Yeah. So
fucking badass. Almost like, just like in The Incredible Hulk, which came out a month after this. Where the first time you see the Hulk, you barely see him. Like, he's always in shadow. You just see him kind of like, you see his arm like hit somebody and stuff. But you don't really see the Hulk fully. And it's kind of like in this scene where it's very suspenseful. Like, where's Iron Man? He comes out of the dark and the flames and everything. It's fucking just really badass.
I remember there being flames. I know he punches somebody right here.
Well, when he actually comes out of the
thing.
But yeah, like right here, they're totally playing it like mystery. Like, don't reveal him just yet. Build the reveal up, which is really awesome. I love when they do that. I think Godzilla 2014 did it too much, but.
And that's kind of he just appeared in front of them. Like, isn't this thing kind of slow moving?
Yeah, like fucking. There's a reveal. That's fucking wicked looking, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Is the song Iron Man actually in this movie, or was it just in the previews? The Black Sabbath Iron Man song.
We'll have to keep watching. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think maybe it was when he went and like saved that village and killed everybody. Yeah, how badass is this? Fucking, it's big and clunky, but just hitting one guy, fucking almost knocked his face off. How scary would that be if he was a terrorist? What the fuck?
Giant monster.
You were just in control. Like this guy. That was a totally horror shot.
Of course, it's a movie for children, so we can't see the gore that would be him bursting in the door.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, what is Tony Stark doing right there? Just punching the guy into the door like repeatedly, like we're going through the guy's stomach and shit. Yeah. Like hydraulics, like his arm stuck in the rock. If your arm can get stuck in a rock, that dude that he was just pounding in the door would be in pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, here we go. There's a flamethrower. Like, especially when he comes out, like he's even like in like weird like Japanese like type stance and blows flame on everybody. This guy thinks he's badass. He's like, it's just Tony Stark. I can handle it.
With this giant, whatever kind of rifle it is.
Yep.
Not even a rifle.
Yeah,
just a launcher of some sort. I don't know.
Grenade launcher. Oh, Tony's got
My
one too.
turn.
They were both like 10 yards away. Neither of them hit the other one.
Yeah.
Oh no, Yinsen.
Yeah, he was a really good choice for the part, this Jensen guy.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
I'm going to see my family now. Touching.
Yeah. Did he say earlier in the movie that his family was dead, or that?
See, I don't remember. I think he said like, I don't think they even mentioned that. I think they're kind of just, you get that from this conversation that they've spoken about that.
Yeah.
Oh, your family's dead. Okay, you can die after all.
That's okay.
I'm okay with
the
this.
American flag on like the bag of rice, or whatever that was, sandbag or whatever it was. Like, how many fucking terrorists were there?
0 now.
How badass it is coming out of the cave. So cool looking. I like how the action isn't like steady cam action, where like it's just a cameraman like up close, like the camera's moving real fast with the action, and lots of like quick cuts so you can't see what's happening. I like how he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the flamethrowers.
Yeah, that's badass.
Hell yeah.
And it destroys everything.
Yep. So they kept the prisoners in the cave. But where were they? Were they just sitting outside in like the hot sun, a little bit of shade? I think they would have slept in the cave.
Yeah.
Kept the prisoners out in the sun. Oh,
and this part here, like his arm goes out, but like, what does he lift it with his own strength? Like suddenly he can lift it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's that pose I was talking about. Yeah, but doesn't he have a jetpack? Doesn't he fly away?
Yeah, I think it's just like a one-time burst thing, though.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep. Yeah. Man, just a nick of time, too. Everything fucking blew up.
Yeah. This was like, what, he's impervious to flame? Like...
Yeah,
there's some space in there.
Yeah, face mask, everything, yeah. And bullet fire, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it shatters to pieces on impact.
And somehow he doesn't die from that either, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's
pillows in there?
Yeah, he totally would have died.
Yeah, definitely. But it's a movie, and these things, we kind of move on.
Yep. He's like buried in the sand. No water, no food.
But his legs didn't break, he just sank in the sand.
Not bad.
Just a couple scratches.
Yep.
Running along the desert.
Hey, look at that. He was holding his other arm up in that last scene. He was holding his left arm like up against his chest. See? His left arm.
No,
and then the last one was his right.
Yeah. Good catch.
Yep. And how did the Americans find him right here? Did they just happen to be flying by? I mean, I guess they were in a war in Afghanistan or whatever at the time, but... How shitty for him. He was like, yeah! And it's more terrorists.
Movie's over.
It happens to be James Rhodes.
Yeah. I knew I'd find you right here in the desert.
Yeah. How was the fun be? Had to rub in his face. Yeah, see, Don Cheadle would have been better in this movie.
Yeah, where was Don Cheadle when they were doing the casting call?
I don't know. There's Pepper. I love Gwyneth Paltrow. I think she's beautiful. Yeah. A lot of people fucking hate her. It's weird.
Huh. Why, I wonder. Maybe there's things about her.
Yeah.
Those Star magazines.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
I like how, like, not like quite real, but they try to make him as real as possible. Like, the press conference, he just wants to eat American cheeseburgers, you know, like, and he wants to sit down at the press conference and make it more personal and stuff. Like, and those are all like cool, like character things that make him, you know, more of a real person and likable and stuff. Yeah. 3 months.
But at the same time, it's like, I just got off the plane. Let's go have a press conference. Like, come on, no one would do that. You'd at least give yourself a day, you know. But
yeah, well,
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe if you're Tony Stark.
He probably went from Afghanistan to whatever military base they have in Saudi Arabia or wherever.
Nice suit on, yeah.
Yeah, and then he probably stayed there, a nice hotel, get his, wounds tended to and everything, and
nice.
So by the time he got to the States, it had probably been a couple of days already.
Let's not keep everyone guessing. They know I'm here. Let's go ahead and have a press conference.
Yep. Burger King. I want an American cheeseburger, and it's fucking Burger King.
Mm.
Product placement.
Yeah. Obadiah Stone. pretending to be happy. He's like, well, "You're not dead, like I planned."
Yeah, Stain. Yeah, he's just like, "Oh, it's so good to see you."
Or it's just Stone and Stain. So
yeah, it's weird. Like in this movie, like here's the guy from Shield, Phil Coulson.
There's a new show now too with him.
Homeland Intervention Logistics Division. So like,
put him awful.
A lot of people have said like, "Oh, well, in Iron Man 1 they didn't really even have a name for Shield yet." But they just came with a TV show, Agent Carter, about the girl from the first Captain America movie. Yeah. It was from the 40s, and her and Howard Stark, like almost formed Shield back in the late 40s, early 50s. So it's like, well, they've had Shield for that long, but he just right here, he's like, oh, we're working on the name. And a lot of people think like, oh, they didn't even have a name in Iron Man, but they did in the 40s. I never got that from this movie. I got like, they had a name. He told her the name straight up. What SHIELD stood for. And she's like, oh, that's a mouthful. I was like, yeah, we're working on it. Like, it's been like 40, 50 years, but yeah, you're right. We probably could shorten it to something.
We're still working on it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the acronym, SHIELD.
SHIELD,
like, right. So I never took away from that, like, oh, they still don't have a name for SHIELD, even though they did in the 40s based on this new TV show that had just come out. But, so yeah,
They never take everything, every little thing into account,
Yeah. Yeah, here's the press conference.
Yeah.
Everybody sit down, that's cool. Is the reporter he slept with in there? I'm sure she is.
I think she does say something. Or no, it's in a later press conference.
I don't see her. She might be the one at the end where he says, I am Iron Man.
Right, yeah, she does. She's the one that presses him.
Yeah. What a twist that was.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's standing. Steve's like, no. Press conference over. Let's get you out of here.
Got a head wound.
How did you feel about Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane?
I think he works. I think he does all right. I mean, yeah. I think Jeff Bridges is really likable, but he's hateable in this movie,
Yeah,
He's just kind of good actor.
Yeah, he can... segue.
But then again... so menacing.
Yeah, here's where you really find out that he's pretty much the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's weird that they got him to shave his head and everything, and because I remember like in the '90s they had to pay Arnold Schwarzenegger an absurd amount of money to shave his head to be Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah, and what's his name? That played Batman.
George Clooney.
Yeah, well, he always talks about how he regrets it, but like, who passes the chance to be Batman, no matter how terrible the movie is?
Yeah, exactly. It's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I like Jeff Bridges. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
And he's usually the good guy. Yeah, in this he plays like just such a bad guy.
Yeah.
The arc reactor that they're talking about now is fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
It's like 30 feet wide and like 30 feet tall. And the one Tony Stark made in a cave.
It was like 3 inches long.
Yeah. It's a famous quote that he says later in the movie because he gets his team to try to build a small arc reactor for his Ironmonger suit.
Yeah.
And he's like, Tony did it in a cave with scraps.
That was a really good acting job, the way he says it too.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great delivery.
A box of scraps, something like that.
Yeah,
or a box of scraps.
Yeah, well, like the casting is like it's really inspired. Like Robert Downey Jr. You never would have thought known as like a druggy deadbeat actor basically, and the dude,
Yeah.
And it's the bad guy and the superhero. Like it's just what wonderful casting.
Yeah. I still feel like they could have done better. I don't know. I mean, if they were going a different direction, again, it works, and it grew on me like a lot of characters do.
This is a real guy. Like, he has his own like real TV show.
Yeah, but this part's it kind of irks me because it looks so fake. You know what I mean?
This is what his show's really like, though. I've seen it on late night TV. Like, it's that obscene and ridiculous and stupid.
Weapons. No.
Look, an iPad.
Tab on there.
Yep. It's got a weird kind of
knob on it for some reason.
I guess that's where you hold it from. It's weird it's on the right side. I think most people would hold it from the left to use the right hand.
Yeah.
So like you can see the technology like in his workshop at home here. He has like a little table that can do like the whole like when he's designing the gauntlets, like he can put his hand like in it, like, and it's only so big. In the second movie, it's his whole workshop.
Right.
And then in the third movie, it's just totally obscene, where you can like recreate a crime scene in 3D, every angle. Look at that footprint that a camera obviously wouldn't have caught.
Right.
You know. So like the technology got less and less grounded in reality. Because it seemed like that's what they were going for in this movie. Like, let's take the Iron Man story.
Relatively believable?
Yeah, make it relatively believable. You know, it's grounded in reality. It's not... Because he's not like a superhero, like, with superpowers. He didn't get hit by a spider.
Limitless money, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, this movie seems so grounded, which is why I think it came to such a shock that it was connected to the Incredible Hulk, which is so outlandish. I mean, that movie wasn't really, but just the idea of the Hulk, you know, a giant green monster and everything, you know? And then as the series of the Marvel Cinematic Universe progressed, it got more and more outlandish with Thor, and the Red Skull, and the Tesseract, and the alien invasion. So, like, this was like the groundwork. Like, let's start it here with Iron Man. Then just like
no superpowers, just money and technology.
Yeah, and it just changed so much to what we have now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's true.
But it was Thor.
I couldn't wait for it to come out. Though I remember like a long time ago when they first even were making this. Like when are they gonna make a Thor? You know? And, and I think they did really good. I mean, we'll get to that, but I liked Thor.
Oh, pulling that thing out of his chest, like how nasty is that? Like,
oh, you just killed me. Okay, I'm going into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, it's really like he tells her like, don't pull that out, and she pulls that out, and then like. She doesn't really like put another one in. Yeah,
exactly. Like I guess it wasn't necessary after all this.
Yeah, like I guess you could have pulled it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's like would this thing that she's putting in now have fit if she would have left that thing in like he told her to? But I guess it's just good quirky drama. You know, their chemistry of the way they bicker is just perfect.
Right.
You
I'm putting my life in your hands right now.
And you can totally tell like they're both totally in love with each other, but. They've never ever done anything about it.
Right.
You know, I mean, who knows? You never really say exactly. I don't think how long they've been like, you know, business partners or whatever she is to him. You know,
I guess he's kind of ripped here.
Yeah, he's in
not ripped,
shape.
but good shape. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, like, have they been? Were they childhood friends? Did they meet in college? Was she just somebody that he hired and? You know, kind of fell in love with, so she got more and more and more responsibility. They don't really kind of explain that, but you can totally tell that they're in love. And they both want to do something about it, but because it's, you're my boss billionaire that sleeps around with everybody, you know, I don't want to do anything and make a fool of myself because I don't know, and will it last because you're such a womanizer and everything, So it's just great chemistry. That's one of the best parts I love about these movies is them together. I like what Rhodes is saying here, how an unmanned ship, it can do a lot of stuff, but it'll never replace man. Like he's saying, his judgment and his, you know, the way he can read a situation and make actual decisions, and not just, this is my mission, this is what the plane will do because this is what we programmed it to do.
Yeah.
So I actually
like we're getting closer and closer to that stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, they totally
cars that drive themselves and
I just saw a commercial for like a Jeep that totally just parallel parks itself. I mean, that's been around for a while now, but it's becoming more and more common in cars. So yeah, it's just crazy that we're putting more and more trust into technology.
I'll never do it. I will never let a car drive me. It's just something about it just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Maybe I will, but I feel like just like owning a robot or artificial intelligence just scares me, you know? Thought of that actually coming to fruition.
Yeah, like, iRobot.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going to happen, like iRobot.
And then I watched that movie Her. Have you seen this or heard of this?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know all about it.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. Weird movie, man. But yeah, he falls in love with a computer. You have to watch it.
Yeah, the operating system. That's cool.
They have these. It's like a laser, and you type on it, and any flat surface you put it down, and.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so like some of the technology from this movie is becoming more and more reality. Like right here, this table. You don't see it on the ceiling, but it's probably, this table projects it up, and there's probably one on the ceiling that people say a lightsaber can never happen because the laser wouldn't know when to stop.
Right.
So this, like, for him to be able to fool around with it probably has a top. And I guess it could just project up, and when you can't see anymore, there's nothing there. But But it's just that table that he has. This little table that has this hologram projection thing. In the next movie, it's his whole workshop, and the third one is just that ridiculous. I can't even explain how ridiculous and stupid it is. Here's a terrorist. Oh, that's a cool shot. How he holds up the mask like that, sand falling off it. That's cool. Total bad guy turnaround shot right there.
Yeah.
That's cool. The comb in the desert. Yeah, for the next 30 minutes of the movie, he's just
tinkering.
Yeah, building his suit, tinkering with it. Takes it for one test flight, and he goes and saves that one village.
Yeah.
I think that's the scene where it does have Iron Man playing.
I wonder, just to make this right here, how much money that must have cost.
I know, with all the materials like hydraulics,
and
wiring,
and
metal.
That robotics right there, that doesn't look like CG. That's a real robot,
Yeah, well, I know. When I was in high school, freshman year, we had this science computer lab, and it had a robotic arm that we could control and stuff. There was different stations that we went to once a week. And this is really cool how he's video doing files it seems like somebody like him would actually do, record everything, document everything. This would kill him so fast.
Yeah. Kill him dead.
We're going to see if 10% thrust capacity achieves lift. 10%. Oh, what if it went 100%? And then the fire extinguisher robot arm. That's funny.
And later it learns and it does better. It doesn't shoot him.
Yeah. Or the ones where he's doesn't he say something you better not spray me.
Don't spray me. Yeah.
Right here, he puts his arm in the thing. That's awesome. But it's just that one table.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little more believable. Okay, he might actually have that. Yeah, just all that metal, all the supplies. He probably had to hammer out the metal and solder it and cut it to the shapes that he wants and stuff. It would take forever.
Especially when you see the finished product. For one man to really do that is just ludicrous.
Is this the scene with Obadiah Stane? Pizza?
Yes.
Does he have pizza in this scene?
I think so, yeah, right. There it is.
Yep. Yeah, last time I watched this movie was probably 6 months ago. Ray's from New York. Hey, doesn't he say he just got back from New York?
Is there really a Ray's pizza in New York?
Yeah, there's 10. There's, Ray's original Ray's, Ray's this, Ray's that. Every single one claims to be the first original Ray's in New York City. And, so who knows? I'm sure they're all fantastic,
Yeah. Everything's better on the East Coast. All the food.
Yep. Oh, they're locking Tony out of the company right here.
Which is how it really goes. The board makes these decisions. CEOs get fired all the time.
Yeah, that's always boggled my mind. Like, you made the company, like, and he just said, like, we own, the majority of the stock.
Interest,
like, it's like, so how can you get fired if you own it? Like, it's just so weird. The business world, boards and stocks and shareholders and this and that, like. That's so funny.
Excuse me, but take one.
What was he asking him for? The arc reactor technology?
Doing, yeah.
He's like, nope, that stays with me. Well, so does this pizza stays with me. That's so funny.
Okay.
1% thrust capacity. Look at those cars. He just ruins them all right here by floating over them.
Yeah, why would you do it right there, where you just got sent flying into the ceiling?
Yep. How badass is that, man? Talking to his robot arms like they're people.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the changing Jarvis from an actual butler like Alfred to an AI?
Was that not in the cartoons? Because I can't remember.
No, he's a butler. He's a real butler, like Alfred is. A real person, Jarvis.
I could remember that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought when I watched this movie, I thought it was maybe like this, but I guess that technology wasn't even conceivable back then. I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't have like computer on Star Trek. I talked back to him.
That's true.
But I
like that.
I thought it was
yeah,
a
I
great
mean,
idea.
to have a butler named Jarvis, it's like such a rip off of Batman with Alfred,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I thought it was a great idea making him like an artificial intelligence, like whatever he is.
And he gets sad.
Yeah. Look at that, like all this, like.
Yeah.
And I love the voice. Paul Bettany's voice is very
really
calm
good.
and soothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works well for an artificial intelligence voice. And Paul Bettany is now playing Vision in Avengers 2: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one, man.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons we're doing it. We're going to do the Marvel Phase 1 movies.
Hopefully by then
hopefully by the time Avengers 2 comes out, we'll have gone through Marvel Phase 1 and 2 movies leading up to it.
Yeah. Like this part here is like, come on, for one man to build all this, like that sleek, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that perfect.
That requires like an assembly line at very least. But I guess he does have all the robotic arms and all that stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah. What a cool design for the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And actually like practical,
Right.
It looks so cool.
Just take it for a spin.
Yep.
I like that even better. All silver, man. That looks so cool. Yeah. And I've always liked the silver and red Iron Man better than the gold and red, which is like the Mark V or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And this is the Mark II, which is true though, because I remember it being silver too. The Mark II is all silver in the comics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like how, especially in Iron Man 3, there's so many different armors that you can see, like, different designs and stuff. I like that.
In the cartoon?
No, in Iron Man 3.
Oh,
we had,
right.
50
yeah,
of them.
that's true.
Yeah. So that was cool.
He doesn't wear most of them.
Well, he wore a few, in the end, he jumps from suit to suit, and they kind of just shatter to pieces every time they got hit.
Yeah.
But probably because he made so many, they're not nearly as strong and stuff,
right.
So. Like in Iron Man 2, the briefcase suit, which is from the comics and the cartoon, the briefcase suit,
so,
they never showed it in the movie, and I don't think they ever say, but it can't fly.
Oh.
Because it's so small and compact, it's not as strong.
Yeah.
It can't fly, so it's just kind of I can put it on to protect myself and fight and stuff. And
Yeah.
He can probably like repulse, jump, 15, 20 feet in the air, but he can't like fly like he is now.
Right.
I feel like this became like the deciding plot point in the last fight.
Yeah.
That he can't go out into space or that far up to where he'd freeze. They're really on a test run. That's the first thing you do.
Dude, he's just trying to break the world record.
Yeah. He just kind of fixes it, no problem.
Yeah.
How badass would that be, though?
Mm.
To fly.
Yeah. Especially like that.
Yep.
Hey man, maybe in a couple decades.
Yeah.
I'll be flying around in Iron Man suits.
We'll be old men flying around. How cool would that be?
Plug in the Matrix or something.
Yep.
Do it there.
It's that heavy and shit that it fucking goes through like 3 flights of concrete and destroys that fucking sweet ass Cobra.
I know.
Yeah, there's the arm.
There's no fire, but it's plastic.
Yep. He's like, fuck, my suit sucks. Wait, that package wasn't there before.
I mean, that was also in it, like, if it was like a backup heart for him, why would he throw it away anywhere? Earlier in the movie, he's like, oh, I'm not sentimental, throw it away or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool, proof that Tony Stark has a heart, but...
Yeah. Yeah, what a cool gift.
Yeah.
That'd be like a cool fucking thing to have like on your desk, like a paperweight or whatever.
Mm.
That's cool. Oh, we're finally back to the terrorists.
Trying to figure out what goes where on the suit.
Yeah. It looks like they have his like initial designs on the
specs.
Yeah, the specs or whatever that he had on the tracing paper. So you don't think he would have destroyed those, or took them with him, tucked them in the armor somewhere?
No time. Killing terrorists, dude.
Yeah, that's true. And they did kind of have to do it on the fly, like...
expected to maybe have a little more time.
Yeah, Jensen had to go out there and stall by shooting him. Oh, not anybody, but he was shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Use the gold titanium alloy. Oh, what is he drinking?
It looks like that naked green juice that I drank.
Oh, yeah.
All this stuff.
It's got like grass in it or whatever.
Yeah, something, I don't remember.
Huh, it's got all kinds of like shit written on it.
Yeah. She's cute too. Like, I'll bang that reporter next. Mark III, version 1.
Hot Rod Red. I like how he comes up with the colors.
Yeah.
Jarvis, that should help you keep a low profile. I didn't like in Iron Man 3 how there was more gold than red.
Mm.
I think it looks better with more red than gold, like it does right here, that they just showed on his computer.
Right.
So in Iron Man 3, I thought it was too much gold.
Man, look at that car, imagine. That's the Audi. I'd rather have a Lamborghini though, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's they're plugging, Audi's plugging in the movie there.
Yeah, definitely. Tony Stark makes an appearance.
Mm.
No, it was this scene at the end of this party or whatever that you find out that Obadiah Stane pretty much tells him, "I'm the bad guy."
Yeah. And yeah, this part where Stan Lee makes his
Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah.
You look great, Hef.
Good Hef, yeah.
There's lots of speculation, like, was he supposed to be playing Hugh Hefner, or was he Stan Lee and he just got mistaken for Hugh Hefner?
Yeah.
Or was it just some rich guy that he mistaken for Hugh Hefner?
No one knows.
Yep.
A little of both. Or all three or whatever.
Isn't Pepper at this party? Like,
Yeah, we'll see her in a moment.
Yeah.
They dance and
there's
it's awkward.
what's his face? Agent Coulson. Have you watched any of of Shield?
Yes, I have. Well, I had them on. I think my list may have deleted some of them by now. In fact, I'm sure of it. Because I planned to watch them with you at some point, but
yeah, I was just never ever interested.
I think they're actually on Netflix now, so it doesn't even matter. But,
yeah.
I watched the first episode and I was disappointed.
Yeah,
They did remind me. They're reminiscent of, oh my god, now I can't even think of the show. The one where it's kind of like X-Files, the newer one.
Fringe?
Fringe. It's kind of like Fringe. It's like that.
Really?
Like every episode, yeah, it's like a new, only like superhero power related, but they, they're agents that are investigating.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you watch it, you'd see what I mean, but it's not as good as Fringe.
No, I caught like 5 minutes, maybe even just like a minute of the first episode at my mom's one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was watching it the day after it aired, and I was like, just based on that 1 minute.
I've heard a lot of people say they like it. Same with Gotham.
Yeah, I hear more good things about Gotham than I did about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I heard like it's gotten better. Like the end of season 1 was definitely better than the beginning of season 1.
Yeah.
Like it's getting better.
Mm.
But it just doesn't interest me. Like I don't care.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I'd like to be into that, but
yeah, like because it's just a bunch of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like I don't give a crap about these Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Like I want to see superheroes.
Yeah.
Like the Netflix, like they're coming out with Daredevil, which is coming out soon on Netflix.
Mm.
And then there's Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones or Jessica Drew.
Yeah, we're getting less and less interest from me. Used to those as they went on got a little worse.
Yeah, but at least some of them are actual superheroes.
Yeah.
And then like there's going to be those 4 shows separately, and then together as a team. So there's going to be 5 seasons. Individual seasons and then a team season. And it's all part of, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. So you're probably going to see some of them in
movies.
Phase 3 or 4 or 5 movies. So
that's unfortunate because Iron Fist is better than Luke Cage, but Luke Cage is one of those where I'm sure I'll sound racist, but they put him in just to have a black guy superhero. Just like they had Falcon. They throw him in there like, hey, it's a crappy superhero. We gotta have another black guy though. Falcon, he can fly.
Yeah,
he doesn't do anything.
Well, the Marvel MCU definitely needs some diversity. Right now, it's nothing but white guys.
Right.
And
I understand that.
Johansson,
I'm just saying that's why they did him. You know what I mean? Like, and they were just the crappy powers. So you at least give him a cool power. You know what I mean? But
yeah, well, I think Luke Cage is a fairly popular character.
He's just really strong. You right?
Yeah, I think so. But like him and like Jessica, I think it's Drew. Maybe it's Jessica Jones. I always forget. But like they actually have like their own like Heroes for Hire kind of comic book and everything. Like it's been ongoing for years and years and years. Like it's still popular. Like those characters are still popular enough. But I forget what I was getting at. Oh, I'd rather see at least real superheroes than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I don't give a fuck about.
I mean, they tie in the superheroes, but they're like obscure, weird superheroes.
So I just don't care.
Oh, this guy gets really hot and explodes, or something like.
But we see shit like that on Fringe, so it's like I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like they're saving all the good characters for the fucking movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, here's that reporter again.
But to have to watch episode after episode of.
Yeah, stupid shit.
This, no, I'm saying of the same. Boring powers is also never mind.
Yeah.
Here's a reporter. She's spiteful because he banged her and he left her, whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a very where he says, "I'm the fucking bad guy."
Hmm. It was me that kicked you off the board.
Yeah.
Let's take a picture and smile.
Yeah, I locked you out of the company.
It was to protect you. It's the only way to protect you.
So it's like, you
Oh,
motherfucker.
she looks on.
Yeah.
How much of that did she hear,
Yeah. Getting the scoop. And then she walks away. So, yep, got what I came for.
So in a way, she took advantage of him because I mean, you know, he scored with her, but you know, she's doing the same thing. She's there trying to get the story. So
yeah, he's just chilling, watching the news, playing with his Iron Man armor and stuff.
Yeah. I always thought he would shoot the TV, but he never does.
Yeah. Like after I watched this, like initially, like when I first got it on DVD, because like I said, I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't watch it for a really long time. Like, I never really went back to it. I think I might have watched it one more time before I watched it, like 6 months ago. It's like I forget, like each time I watch it, I'm like, man, like this movie is really good. Like, I really like it.
Yeah.
Because like I think I've seen Iron Man 2 more than like any other Marvel movie. Only because like when I got it, I watched it, then I watched it again with some other people. Like I was babysitting your son once, and he wanted to watch it, so I watched it, and I think it was just like, you know, it plays again. You know, he fell asleep and was just playing again.
Yeah.
So I've seen Iron Man 2 way more than I've seen Iron Man 1. And I think because like I even pop it in more often because I really love the first half of Iron Man 2. The second half is retarded, but the first half I think is really cool.
Yeah. I actually, bits and pieces, I mean, Whiplash and everything, but I think I may have probably the same of all of them, actually. I think I've seen that one probably twice. I think watching this one a couple days ago was probably my third, maybe fourth time watching this one.
Yeah.
But it had been so long.
Yeah, because like every time I like what should I watch? Like which Marvel movie or which superhero movie should I watch when I go into like superhero mode?
Yeah, Iron Man 2.
Yeah, like I always kind of don't watch this one only because like in my mind I think like, oh, like the beginning's cool and the end is kind of cool, but everything else is just him kind of tinkering with his suit.
Yeah.
And it kind of is that way, but it is well done. It's totally interesting, and it's a well put together movie.
And the CG there, like even at the time, like I always noticed that with I mean, the older, further back, like even like in the '90s, like it's like this sucks. This is crappy CG. Even at the time, you knew, it was bad. But like when this movie came out, it looked like top of the line. But now you can just see the difference, like how bad, like right there when the face mask was coming down, like you could just tell it's CG. But at the time, it looked, oh my god, it's so real. Right. I mean, this movie isn't even that old. What, 08?
08.
That's not even 10 years, but.
Got more terrorists on the scene. This is where he actually goes out and is Iron Man for the first time.
This is a cool scene.
Yeah. It's great that he just like straight up kills all the terrorists.
Yeah.
He's not like Batman where he just beats
they're
them
ready
up
to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Harmless people. For no good reason, really. I mean, what's the reasoning? They don't even explain. They're just like, let's just kill them. Kill the men.
Yeah. Well, they're terrorists. They're probably trying to take all the kids or men or whatever for their organization.
Well, they take the women too, but... well, I guess you sell the women as sex slaves or something.
Yeah. I love that sound, that ding, ding. Yeah. I don't think the CG is really that bad. I mean, yeah, you can tell like that CG. It's not really him on screen or whatever, but
yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad. No. But I'm just saying, like, the advancement, even just since then, it's gotten so much better.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it is. You really he didn't say anything. He just comes in, slaughters everybody, and saves the day.
But it happens to be right in the nick of time,
Yeah. I'm waiting to see if they play Iron Man. So I remember in the previews, like a lot of that was what they showed. It was like this scene and stuff.
Yeah. And like the voice. It's all yours,
Yeah, it's him, but it's like digitized.
Right, it sounds like he did in the cartoon.
Yeah. then the U.S. starts shooting him down.
No, I think it's the Mukma, or it's the
It's terrorists.
Muslims.
No, is it?
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't do that to the U.S. Army.
Yeah. As he walks away, because badasses don't look at explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene is pretty badass.
But somehow he doesn't get the guy with the scar on his face or whatever. Did
Yeah.
They show him. Did they just show him, or I think they do in a moment?
They just showed like that main terrorist guy that he was dealing with in the beginning. Yeah,
I see.
he was in a truck in a convoy from. So yeah, he's still alive. Because you find out that Obadiah Stane hired them to kidnap him, or to blow up his convoy from the beginning of the movie, and they kidnapped him, thinking like, and they said like, you don't tell us that it was Tony Stark that we were here to kill. Like they were supposed to kill him, but they kept him alive to build the missiles. It's tiny. That's funny. Who's this?
What is a click? I always forget. Isn't it like 2 miles or 2.5 miles?
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever known what a click was.
It's some distance.
I think it's crazy how we have like such crazy and weird units of measurements.
Compared to the rest of the world, we do the metric system, or we don't do the metric system.
Yeah, but not even that, like clicks and fathoms.
Well, I think clicks is more of a military terminology.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Just, okay. But then there's fathoms for the sea.
Yeah.
And then there's for like weight and like almost like body mass, it's stones.
Stones in Europe, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean UFC even uses it.
When they go to Europe, it's like, he's 13 stone. It's like, okay.
But
stones
those are
like
cool.
25 pounds or something, or 20 pounds. I don't know.
Well, those are just like cool units of measurements, like
yeah.
Stones and clicks and fathoms. Like,
yeah,
I think that's really cool.
We changed it to pounds, which is the currency in Europe.
Yeah, how weird is that? Our weight is their currency.
Their currency.
Here, the U.S. is probably trying to take him down, and they have no idea that he's a superhero.
I mean, couldn't they see that it's the shape of a man? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you think they wouldn't take him down? I mean, he just destroyed a whole bunch of, like, a town, basically, so...
Or I was saying that they wouldn't. Yeah, his favorite killed a bunch of, terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, they have no idea who he is or what he is, so why wouldn't they try to take him down? He's trying to tell Brody, it's me that you're shooting at.
Stop. Don't kill me. This part's funny. He's stuck to the bottom of the plane.
Yeah. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Hey, another Star Wars moment. Wow, he really fucked up that plane. Took out the whole wing.
Yeah.
That Iron Man armor, I mean, he takes a fucking beating. Like, he just flew back into a jet's wing and went through the wing. And he's completely fine, Yeah. Some tough-ass armor. Whiplash one.
Another sound.
It doesn't look CGI to me, like the guy falling. I mean, that might be, but... I like when movies
What are the chances of the chute actually failing? You know what I mean? For it to be jammed, I'm sure that they make them fail safe as a seatbelt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
it just happens to jam.
I would never ever go skydiving because I'm way too afraid.
I was talking about that earlier.
That it would.
I went cliff diving once, and even that took a fuck it moment. You just have to say fuck it and not even think. You know what I mean? If not for that, I wouldn't have done it. But to build the courage just to jump from, that was pretty high up, but.
To jump out of a plane and just trust that this parachute's going to save my life, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
No.
But at the same time, I feel like it's on the bucket list. Like you got to do it, No,
not for me. That's not
buy vouchers for like $100 to do it. It's not that expensive.
I don't know. Like maybe if I was tied, because usually you're tied to the actual person that does it for a living.
Yeah.
But maybe if we both had one, so in case mine doesn't work, his does.
That is how it goes. Yeah.
Oh, it is okay. Yeah. That makes me feel a little bit better about it. But still, I'm terrified of heights. Yeah.
But these guys do it all day long, several times a day. So again, the chances of that happening is just very, very slim. But it would be terrifying. But it would also be really cool to be weightless. I mean, it's something you never experience.
Yeah. I wish she had a bigger role in this movie. She's just kind of there every once in a while. I mean, not that
we already saw the scene where they dance, right?
Yeah, we were talking
Did
about
I somehow miss
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. during
the whole conversation. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, this was in the previews. I remember.
He's like,
look, there's Captain America's shield in the back.
Oh, I didn't see it. It's weird.
Yeah, but it's not actually his shield because his is made out of vibranium metal, and this is it's clear and you can see cutaways in the stripes. It's really weird. So it's obviously not Captain America's shield. It's they're trying to recreate it or something, but because obviously he went down with his shield.
Yeah.
And it's a solid giant chunk of metal.
Right.
But actually, it's almost a plot point in Iron Man 2. Because Coulson's why do you have this? It's oh, that's exactly what I needed to hold up this tube that I'm using to make a new element, which is ridiculous, but...
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, here we find out that...
We really know just the depths of his... whatever.
Yeah, here's the scene where we find out that...
deviousness.
Yeah, what's his name? Hired them to kill him. And he's well, you hired us to kill somebody. You didn't tell us we were pretty much killing a king, basically,
They introduced this super weapon he's got. It's also really cool when he walks out. We'll see that in a moment, but...
Yeah. He's made a masterpiece of death. That's a pretty cool line.
Yeah.
Doesn't Stan end up betraying this guy?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time talking about the movie. I just kind of want to sit here and watch
it. Yeah, I keep getting consumed with it.
Yep.
Gift of Iron Soldiers.
It seems no. What a crazy technology this is! Just put in somebody weird. And
we do have that too. They're they're trucks with this giant circular thing, and it makes people vomit uncontrollably. It's a sound. It's apparently sound. And there's also a sound they make fun of it in South Park. It's called the brown noise because it's a pitch that makes you shit your pants. Apparently, but yeah, it makes you violently ill, and it's they use it in the military. They're deploying it, because it's kind of you don't kill people, but you completely, debilitate them.
Yeah. They kind of use something like that in The Incredible Hulk, which again came out the same summer as this.
Oh, where it's just a sound wave, yeah.
Yeah, it almost stops the Hulk.
Yeah.
He barrels through it, but. Pepper Potts, yeah, I love her.
And maybe I'm confusing that movie, but I did hear about that a couple times actually. That Maybe I'm thinking about a truck with a circle because that's how it is in that movie.
Yeah, they're mounted on the Hummers. Oh yeah, this is where he gets Pepper to go into Stane's computer and upload something and check his files.
She sees the video.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see that in a moment.
Yeah, another suspenseful moment. Like, you think he's gonna, because he totally doesn't trust what she's doing. Like,
and the first thing he says is like, "I know what you're going through," and she's like, "You know what you're going through. You can say that. You can take that as going through."
Like going through the files. Yeah,
I thought that was well written.
Yeah, it was a really good scene. Like the tension, because like she's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get caught."
Yeah,
and yeah, like the things that he says makes it seem like.
I know exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he does, because then she walks out, and that's when he's like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna."
Yeah. Then he like runs behind his computer to check if she went through his files.
And he sees this as like download complete, and that's when I was just, well, again, we'll see in a moment.
Yeah, but it was it's really cool, like tenseful scene. Like, you don't want her to get caught, and like he even like goes and like sits like behind the computer like with her, like to look at what she was doing, like nonchalantly, like. It was just really well done. I love Jeff Bridges.
But
he's
then,
a great actor.
When I first see that, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. So here's more of the chemistry between Tony Stark and Pepper Potts.
Yeah, he's basically saying like, I'm a human being now. Like, before I wasn't. You were right. But what I went through in the cave made me.
She's saying like, is this where she says I quit if you? Yeah. And so she comes back. Okay.
They're meant for each other.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Now here's where, whose computer is this? It's not his. Is it just like the company computer? Isn't this something she could have done at any time?
Was this? This is Stane's office, though, isn't it?
Is it Stane's office?
Or is it Stark's office?
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if it's Stark's office, why is it so unusual for her to be sitting there with a disk drive? Why couldn't she just lock the door? I'm in Tony Stark's. Get out of here,
Yeah. I can't remember if that's the same. It's definitely a different set that they use. Yeah, it's only Stark's.
It's a Dell computer.
But it's only Tony Stark's because it had like his hot rod as the background saver, screensaver. So she's totally in Tony Stark's office. It's definitely different in the second movie. Maybe because it's her office in the second movie when we see it. Yeah. She takes over the company in the second one. But
that's right.
Like, would she be able to access Stane's files from Tony's computer?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. 'Cause, I'm pretty sure that's Tony's office. But if it's under the same server or whatever, he would be able to find out all that stuff. But.
And if so, couldn't you do this from his computer if he's this master?
They would find out like this video was sent
the video
to Stane and not just to the United States.
Yeah, and why would it?
Yeah, like you did not tell us the target was Tony Stark.
But why would the video pop up and then just all of a sudden play instead of just? Isn't she just moving this to a disc? I don't know. Obviously they're doing it that way for the movie, but
there he is.
How long was he standing there? Did he hear the video?
Yeah.
In which case, when you just walk up and strangle her,
like in Batman Returns, Christopher Walken, like he makes it seem like he's gonna kill her. He's like, "Ha, just joking."
Just joking.
And then he pushes her out the window.
I love Christopher Walken, man. He was a good choice in that movie.
Yeah. That was a completely made up character for the movie. He wasn't for the comics.
That's true.
Yeah, like that's like you don't know. Like, does he know? Is he just toying with her? Or is he just being Obadiah Stane? Like, we have no idea. Nope, she covers up the fact that there's a disk drive or a thumb drive in the...
Well, you could have just seen that a moment ago,
Yeah. Yeah, because we have no idea. Oh, she barely gets it.
But the way that she's like, she just had her hand on the mouse, but then without him looking away, she's all of a sudden sitting there with her hands on her lap, I don't know.
Yeah, she's being very... I'm doing something wrong and stuff. Yeah, very tenseful scene.
I'm trying to think, if not Gwyneth Paltrow, who to even pick as Pepper Potts. I think that was a really good casting choice.
Yeah, I think she's great. She was perfect. It's got to be somebody at least close to Robert Downey Jr.'s age, so it's not like this huge age gap.
Right.
I mean, I guess stranger things have happened, of course, but
yeah, draft day.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, who else? I mean, what other kind of like?
It has to be a redhead, you know what I mean, or like a strawberry blonde like her, you know.
Yeah, somebody who could totally pass as a redhead.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think she's naturally blonde and they dyed her hair, but.
Yep.
So I guess it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. When you think of that, I'm sort of thinking, who's a redhead? But you can dye anyone's hair.
Oh, he just asked for the paper because she took the paper with.
Yeah. She thumbs it out. She thumbs out the thumb drive.
Yep. There's one more little thing that you're like, oh my god, he knows. And it's like, wait, maybe he doesn't. He's just creepily standing there staring at her. Oh yeah, he knows.
So, fuck.
It's like, what was she snooping around in?
Bitch!
Yeah, fuck! And she like slowly walks through the building.
It just happens to see him. She's like, thank God it's you. Walk with me.
Yep,
he's
creepily standing again. He's like,
and here's the part where he
screams the awesome line.
But he has you can tell he shaved a bald spot into his head. He doesn't look naturally bald.
Yeah. I love this scene. It's so funny.
Has to make it smaller than 30 feet.
Yeah, I know.
We can make it 20 feet.
But honestly, it's impossible.
In a cave. With a box of scraps. The pause is awesome.
Yeah, and he's right up in his face, like with his finger like on his chest, screaming at him.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Tony Stark was able to build us in a cave. It's so good. Oh, there it is. How did he sneak up on him like that?
I know. Is he like hiding behind the couch, lying down?
Just waiting. Like, why didn't he like keep that like with him, like in the Ironmonger suit, to do it in their fight? You know, like,
right.
Why didn't Tony incorporate something like that into his Iron Man suit?
Yeah, just incapacitate people.
Yeah.
It has to be this tiny little device. It can't be in a larger form.
Yeah. That's probably how he looked in real life when he was on drugs. Totally fucked up. Killed in the golden goose. Did you ever think that the climax of this movie was like anticlimactic? Like they fight for like a minute and then it's over?
I think most movies are like that. The fight scenes never do it for me. Like rarely.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, it's like I watched John Wick the other night.
Oh yeah?
I actually recommend it. It sounds so stupid, you know what I mean? It's Keanu Reeves but the fight scenes are really, really cool. Then the ending, I'm not remembering exactly, but I remember kind of being moderately disappointed. Like, it wasn't any better than the rest of the movie, you know? Like, there should be build-up.
Right. Like, the climax is supposed to be, like, the climax of the movie.
Right.
And, yeah, a lot of the times it's not. It's like, oh, that was it?
Yeah.
I think that's...
Reminds me of my sex life. Just kidding.
I think that's, like, especially noticeable in Iron Man 2, like there was this, like, they were fighting the boss and they were, chasing the sky and everything, and then like when they get to that domed park or wherever they were at,
oh yeah, no, I remember.
Like,
yeah.
He comes in, like whips them both around the neck, and they just shoot at each other, and then it blows up and it's over, and it's like, oh well, I guess it's over. But this one I thought was cool, like the way they were like fighting the street. Like I really like the CG, like how like when the Ironmonger like lands, he like takes like a few steps to. He doesn't just like land all perfect. Like he has to kind of step like to keep his balance. Like it was just really cool CGI. Like little things like that make it look a little more real and stuff.
Right.
But like, also, like I think it was cool. Like he doesn't like pick up. He just like knocks a guy off a motorcycle, picks it up, and like uses it to hit Tony. I think.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool.
I mean, the Ironmonger, it's like way better than Tony Stark's, but it's like, how much time did he have to build this Ironmonger? And they don't really give you an actual timeline, so you don't know exactly.
Just a few scenes ago is when he got the actual Mark 1 from the terrorists in the desert.
And all of a sudden he's got this giant, like, ultimate freaking Iron Man suit that,
and then just the scene before when he, in a box of scraps, like... Yeah. So obviously his guys couldn't build the arc reactor small enough to fit into the Ironmonger suit.
Right, so he just had one waiting with that size thing in case you got it.
Oh, no, didn't he just take Tony's out of his chest?
Just right now.
Yeah, okay, so that's how he gets the arc reactor for his Ironmonger suit.
Right.
But from the scene where he gets the Mark 1 from the terrorists to, the end of the movie when he's building his own, and didn't she just, download the files from his Ironmonger suit and the things that he got from the terrorists? So, like, it seems like a very short amount of time for him to build his.
Yeah, even better and bigger. And
than it did Tony to build his.
Yeah. But, again, these are the things we don't think about. We're just watching the movie.
Right.
Or we shouldn't think about. Because then we hate things. We should just enjoy it.
Here it comes, full circle, where the thing is like, oh, just throw it away. I don't need it. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes back and, it was useful. Oh, the arm.
The arm, he's actually redeeming himself.
Yeah.
He even makes a cute little noise, and he's got little eyes. Oh.
Good boy, is his pet. Tony Stark would have mechanical pets and not real ones.
And at that part, too, it's like he saves himself. Like, somebody, like, Pepper or somebody should have burst in and I felt like got it for him, But,
right. Well, it's cool that it was his arms.
Yeah.
His robotic arms that did it.
Like I said, would you rather a robotic arm or a human being?
Yeah, it would have been more sentimental and stuff that Pepper was the one.
Or Rhodey, and Rhodey shows up like 10 seconds from now. Like, are you okay? Oh, you're already alive. What do I do now? Nothing. Okay, I'll stay here.
Now, do you think that he would actually? Because I forget. Like I said, it's been like 6 months since I watched it. Like, doesn't he get in the suit because she brings S.H.I.E.L.D. in, so he has to kind of get in the suit to pretty much do what Tony did in the beginning, like save his own ass. Like, Stain wouldn't have gotten in the Ironmonger suit. He only does it because he was like cornered into doing it.
Right, exactly. So there wouldn't be enough time. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you think like say Tony didn't have Pepper download the files and he doesn't know anything about it. Like, he doesn't have to incapacitate Tony. And this scene right here where she brings S.H.I.E.L.D. to be like, hey, look, he's building something. And why does she even bring S.H.I.E.L.D.? I guess he has the video of, he put the hit on Tony.
Right.
So that's why they're coming to get him. But you think they'd bring, the cops and not S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D., I've never heard of you, but you come be the one that's got the authority to arrest this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he only, but let's say, none of that ever happened. You think Stain would have ever gotten in a suit, or would it just been, a pilot that he hired, to test it out, then they manufacture it?
Right. And he's been obsessing over it for a while, so maybe there had been I don't know. Let's not think about that too much.
Yeah, because he's, forced to go in to hide.
Right.
It's almost too shiny, the CG on his Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. he just shoots his car out of the way for no reason.
I guess so we could do that.
It's funny.
Breaking another hole. This is best part of score is
next time.
Next time. Baby.
Little does he know.
I'll just drive the Audi.
Yeah. There is no next time for him.
Yeah.
This actor, Clark Gregg, I think his name is, who plays Agent Coulson.
Mm.
Yeah, Clark Gregg. He's just a friend of Robert Downey Jr.'s.
In reality, he is.
Yeah,
oh,
that's cool. How he's he kind of brought him in, like, yeah, I'll play this part of Coulson.
Oh, that's cool.
And he ends up being in like every Marvel movie. It has his own show now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And I thought, like, oh, he's probably been in nothing. You know, if he's just one of his friends, he's not really an actor. He just got the part because it's like, oh, my friend, put him in the movie.
But he is.
Watching the Young Indiana Jones, The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, the TV show from the early '90s, he was in an episode of that show.
That's cool.
It's like rewatching it like a year ago. I was like, holy shit, it's a fucking Agent Coulson.
Yeah, he looks like somebody who would be an actor. He doesn't look, just having a guy I happen to know.
Right, yeah.
Whatever. Who the hell does Robert Downey Jr. know that isn't an actor,
Yeah.
Once you get to that point, you don't have regular film anymore because you can't trust anyone. They all want you for money,
Yeah. That was a cool shot where his eyes come behind the chains.
Light up behind the chains, yeah.
That was fucking dope. He's fucking shit up. Look at that.
Yeah.
The way he like jumps instead of walks, I think that's really badass. Yeah, the Ironmonger suit, that thing's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
She's like walking real slow, but her voice is like, Tony! But she's like just barely walking out of the building. There's tanks? Why are there tanks there? Well, I guess it's Stark Industries. They make weapons and stuff, so it makes sense. And that thing looks badass, yeah. His voice is cool as fuck, too.
Yeah. I'm gonna blast you. That's completely necessary.
Yeah, you could have just like swatted her and she'd die. Yeah, they're fighting the street. I'm pretty sure he grabs a motorcycle and like hits it in the face with it. Like, it's fucking sweet.
I think he picks up this car too.
And doesn't he just like throw it because he's mad?
Yeah.
Or does he use it?
He throws it at Tony, I think.
And doesn't Tony like save him?
Yeah. To kill a family for the hell of it, Tony.
Like, has Stain become that evil?
Yeah.
Like, where he just kind of like killed his
family
random
for the hell of
family?
it,
Yeah.
just to make a quick little quip about collateral damage.
Yeah. Like, really, like, Spider-Man could have caught that, and Iron Man's suit can't do it?
Yeah.
In the Avengers, Iron Man can take on Thor, the god of fucking thunder, who can take on the Hulk. Right. They can't pick up a car in this movie.
Well, it's with a damaged.
Yeah, the way he like jumps and like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like right there, he doesn't just land straight. He kind of takes. Yeah, there he is, grabs the motorcycle. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like little things like that where he doesn't just land straight. He has to kind of hobble, keep his balance. That thing's huge. Yeah, but you think like he's gone that twisted and dark and evil. He just wants to kill everybody. Like he doesn't care. And
yeah.
It's like you make weapons. You're not like an evil person at heart.
Right.
So for like the 30 years you were doing this like with Tony's dad.
You just managed to.
Yeah, you were that evil. Like were you like killing people in your basement secretly? Like. Because he's pretty fucking evil in this movie. Like right here, like.
Yeah.
Impressive. Another Star Wars moment.
Mm.
I think it looks like it's got some weight to it. Like, they did a really good job on the CG, I thought.
It took him that long to get 5 feet in the air, but he didn't just take off into space.
Yep. Yeah, Tony's way faster. Look at that. Jeez.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We'll just let this keep happening.
Yeah, there's obviously mass chaos in the streets and these two crazy unidentified flying objects going around. And James Rhodes, Colonel, I think, James Rhodes, just, no, that's good.
Training exercise. Let's leave it all up to this billionaire guy who has no training in military.
Yeah, like you would have thought that, no. The military definitely would have said that. I mean, cops, anything, anybody.
Yeah. People to clear the streets so no one dies. Whatever. Stay in your homes, people.
Yep. how is it more advanced? Like,
Yeah.
he had way less time to do it. And it's Tony's brainchild, so...
Right. And they never show how he survives this. He just doesn't die.
Right. 2%. Like, wow, like Tony's... Like, the Iron Man suit like only lasted that long?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess he's using his backup heart. His
Right,
original
right,
heart,
right.
yeah, so that's something to consider. Pots. Yeah, he just lands and is okay. That was so bad. That's the way he blasted off to do the flying
Superman
punch. Yeah, the
punch,
flying
yeah.
Superman punch.
It's a little grim.
Yeah. Like that's gonna do anything.
Flares. Oh, I'll just let go real quick and look away.
Yeah, my
I'm
eyes,
blinded,
my
even though
eyes.
I'm
He could have just closed his eyes during that and just kept squeezing.
Mm.
It's really hard to just to talk and not just watch.
Mm.
So why is she going so slow?
Okay, I'm just slowly stepping in these heels that I'm not going to remove.
Well, it's broken glass everywhere. I wouldn't think
That's
it
true.
was
And suddenly she's there pulling them.
okay. She was barely creeping. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go do what you say.
Now I'm suddenly in the heart of the building and the.
Oh, they're right above her right now, aren't they?
Yeah. I'll just expose myself for no reason.
Yeah, like Venom in Spider-Man 3, he kept pulling the thing over his face so he could talk.
Yeah, so it could look retarded.
Yeah.
I hated that. I could not believe they chose the kid
Topher
from that
Grace,
70s
I
show.
know. So bad.
Oh my god, how? Why?
Yeah, it's like, why would he do? Like, why wouldn't he just continue to talk through the mask
Yeah.
in that awesome
Sounds way
badass
cooler.
voice? Yeah. He has no mask on. He's missing one glove, and Obadiah Stane's the worst shot in the world.
Yeah.
Bad guy's gotta talk.
Just keep completely missing you. I can't just point this directly at you.
Yeah. He shot that missile like way off target. Way off target. Again.
Come on.
He's like 30 feet off. Oh, that was a little closer. But still nowhere near him. Oh, she just ran through giant bolts of electricity.
Yeah.
So it blasted Tony out of the
Out
way,
of the
but it
way
kept
somehow.
him just standing there. Damn, that thing was pretty fucking powerful.
Hmm.
That looked cool as fuck, though.
Doesn't he not die? Supposedly? After falling into this thing?
Does he survive?
Or no, maybe he doesn't actually. Never mind. They do retrieve the heart, I think, though, because he's at like 0%, which not only powers his suit, but his heart.
Huh. Yeah, so Obadiah Stane's the arc reactor that he stole from Tony survived all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope, there it goes.
And actually powered it back up. Supercharged.
Yeah, like when Thor shot out with his bolt of lightning in the Avengers,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
now at 200% or
Yeah.
whatever. Who is the Iron Man? Why would they call him Iron Man? Nobody uses iron for anything anymore. Probably because of the song. And because it's based on the Iron Man comics, but...
Yeah. Just change it to Titanium Man or something.
Yeah, I think there is a Titanium Man. But that makes way more sense in today's age.
Iron Man, yeah. The Iron Age, wasn't that like 400 years ago or something?
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
I think like Vikings and stuff used iron before steel.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no knowledge of history, clearly.
Agent Coulson. You ever see that the one shots, the Marvel one shots, like the
No.
little like 2-minute like movies?
No.
There was one. I think it was at the end of Thor. It was Agent Coulson. It was because like, you know how at the end of Iron Man 2, he's like, I gotta go to.
And they have the hammer in the ground or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, sir, I found it.
Yeah.
There's a one shot where he's on the road to New Mexico.
Hmm.
He stops at a convenience store and he gets robbed. And he fucking jumps off the shelf, pulls the fucking Jackie Chan and kicks the robbers in the face and stuff and then pays for his shit and leaves. Like, you're like, damn, Coulson's a badass, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah. There's a few one shots. Most of them are pretty good. Again, like their chemistry is just so good.
Yeah. This part's so funny. Testers get me drunk.
Did he never go back up?
Let me rub on myself.
Is that the night you're talking about?
Because it builds up like she's like the night, like they're gonna kiss or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, you left me
And
there
just
all
making
by
fun of him like he's a
myself.
dickhead. He's like, oh yeah, I guess that wasn't it I was talking about.
And there she is, right there in gray. Everyone else is in black. She's in gray, so
Yep.
she stands out.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in the front row.
Yeah.
He didn't? He's like, oh.
Bill Anderson's fantastic.
He's like, fuck, just stick to the cards, dude. And Rhodey clearly said, he will not be taking any questions. She just interrupts immediately and asks a question.
The way he looks down, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
He looks right at her or something.
And that blew my mind when I first saw it. I was like, what? He
Yeah.
divulged he was Iron Man? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Kind of unprecedented, at least in the superhero world.
Yeah, because I mean...
On the podium, in front of,
Yeah, like he didn't just reveal himself to his loved ones or whatever. Like it is, I'm Spider-Man or whatever,
in front of cameras and
yeah, he
reporters.
was like, yeah, I am the superhero. Like that just, you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Let's see, here they're playing Iron Man, so it was in the movie technically.
Yeah.
The song, yeah. These credits are really badass. I like these.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. He really revived his career with this.
Yeah.
Because then he went on.
I say so.
He did the Sherlock Holmes movies.
Oh.
I enjoyed them for what they were. Lots of over the top slow motion action,
Yeah.
but I still think they were pretty enjoyable.
I've never thought of Sherlock Holmes as an action of any kind. You just sleuth, logical deduction.
Yeah, but I actually really enjoyed them, especially the second one, which has the dude from Fringe. He was the bad guy in the first season. the British dude.
Infringed?
Yeah, Infringed.
Oh, okay.
Robert David Jones or David Robert Jones.
Oh yeah, I do remember now. Yeah.
He played Moriarty in the second one.
Yeah.
And there's this really badass scene towards the end. I don't want to talk about it because have you seen either of those?
I've seen. I don't know if I watched the first one all the way through. I've not seen the second one.
Well, you know how like in the first one, like it might be the first time you see him in the movie where he's in that like that fist fight and he kind of like goes in his mind like he's gonna attack with his right. So I'm gonna dodge it this way. So he's gonna do this. I'm gonna go like that and then that, and then it kind of rewinds, and then it happens in real time because first like all that slow motion of him just thinking about what's gonna happen, what can I do to do everything, and then it actually happens in real time the way he thought it would happen,
which never actually happens in a fight. But yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, you know, in that movie, that's how his like his superior thinking happens. In the second one, like he's about to fight Moriarty, which they established in the movie that he was like a boxing champion in college. Yeah. Moriarty was. So they're about to fight, and like you see Sherlock going like, all right, he's gonna try to uppercut me with this. So I'm gonna dodge it this way and do this and then that and that. And then right before that happens,
he just gets punched.
No, Moriarty's like, you think you're the only one that's smart? So then Moriarty's like, when I try to uppercut and you dodge a left, I'm going to secretly do this. And, you know, so all of a sudden it gets completely reversed and Moriarty's doing the exact same type of, I'm going to anticipate everything you do type of thing. So it was completely like, you know, I can do the same thing. Like, I thought it was really cool because the whole time in both movies,
you
know, Sherlock Holmes is doing all these things where, like, I'm totally going to basically predict the future and it's going to happen exactly the way I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you think he's going to do it against Moriarty to win, but Moriarty just completely reverses it. So they're pretty much at a stalemate because, like, you know, Tony Stark thinks, like, well, he's going to punch me this way, so I'm going to dodge it this way. But he knows, like, if I punch this way, he's going to dodge it, so I'm really going to punch him this way. Like, it's just, I thought it was really badass.
Well, before you say much more, maybe I will watch it. I think they're both, well, I know at least the first one's on Netflix. I don't know about the second one, but...
Well, I own them both, so...
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, are we going to talk through the credits here, or are we going to wrap this up?
I mean, do you have any closing thoughts on the movie? Like, overall?
Overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'd say solid 7 on the 7 to 10 scale.
Yeah, I think it's a solid 7 as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't go overboard or anything. It's a good movie. It's worth a watch, worth a rewatch, maybe. There's 2 more that they made afterwards.
Yeah, and he's in
it's Iron Man, which I adore. Growing up, you know, it's always.
See, I was never a huge Iron Man fan growing
up.
Up.
When I play video games that are like, you know, the Marvel characters, I go for Iron Man, I go for Thor. Those are really my 2 go-to characters. I like those 2 as far as the Marvel characters. So, I just like Iron Man. I dig them.
See, for me, growing up, like I never was really into Iron Man.
I'm sorry. The X-Men were my all-time favorite.
Well, yeah. Any kid in the '90s loved the X-Men.
But not Wolverine. Wolverine, I think at this point is probably my favorite. But I've always liked Gambit. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess we're getting kind of off track, but I dig Iron Man is the point. I like Iron Man.
Yeah, see, like I never did. Like I remember, like in the '90s, I was big into the trading cards. I was never really into the comic books.
I love the trading cards too. Yeah. Well, you were even more into it, but your father was too. It was kind of just me. But.
Yeah, and like I remember like looking at the Iron Mans and thought they were cool and everything, but I was never like, oh man, I fucking love Iron Man. He's like my favorite character, because you read the back, you get to know about him a little bit. Especially since I didn't read the comic books. It was either cartoons
or the cards.
Yeah, the cards. Because in the '90s there was really no Marvel movies. It was all just Batman.
Yeah.
And so like Iron Man, I was never really into him. I never was really into Captain America. Like I liked Thor, but I wasn't really into him. It was really, like I said, the X-Men. Wolverine, Gambit, Cyclops, Storm, like the ones that were on the cartoon show I liked.
Right.
Spider-Man, the Hulk, I've always loved the Hulk, even though...
See, the Hulk is one of my... And sometimes I think about him like, oh man, he's so sick. And then sometimes I'm just like, he's an unstoppable green force. Like, come on, like, it's kind of lame.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Superman thing where it's like, nothing can stop him. How is he interesting? Like, you can never, like, if you make a movie or any kind of story about him, like, who's he going to fight? What's going to oppose him? How is it going to be any kind of conflict?
And they somehow come up with things, but...
Yeah. But, like, I've always just been intrigued by the unstoppable rage and monster. Like, it's just always been cool. Yeah. And in the old, like, 70s cartoon show, I had some episodes on VHS tapes and stuff, so I've always loved that.
You like those?
Stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I loved it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What's his name? Fan of Green.
No, not the TV show, the cartoon show.
Oh.
There was Spider-Man. Well, there was the '60s Spider-Man. Then there was another Spider-Man, Thor, Hulk, and maybe Captain America.
Thor cartoon show?
Yeah, back in like the '70s.
Huh.
Or maybe even early '80s. But I had some episodes of the Hulk one on VHS, the Hulk and Spider-Man on VHS. So I'd always watch those, and I just loved the Hulk. It was so cool. So Wolverine, the Hulk. I kind of liked Thor, but it was really Wolverine, Hulk, and Spider-Man that I really, really loved in Marvel. So I was never super into Iron Man. Like I never even thought to be like, oh man, Iron Man is so cool. He's like Batman, but more armored.
Right.
So I never got into it. But when the movie came out, I was like, wow, Iron Man's actually pretty cool. He's still not as cool as a lot of people think he is, but the movies definitely helped me like him. Like same as Captain America. I like Captain America a lot more now because of the movies. They sparked my interest more in the character, which is great. I think it's a great way to get people more interested in the characters is to make these awesome movies and not cheesy, crappy movies like Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
But it's actually like a good, well done movie. So now I'm more interested in Iron Man. I want to, read about the extremists or extremists, however you say it.
Yeah.
And things like that. Like
I think it's extremists, right?
Well, in the movies they say extremists, but I think here's the secret scene. This is why we say to the thing.
Yeah.
Jarvis. I mean, this. A lot of people say like this started the whole post-credit scenes in movies, but really Pirates of the Caribbean in 2003 had one.
Oh, really?
So, and I'm sure some movies maybe before it, but that's the first one I remember seeing. It's like, what? That fucking...
Yeah.
That blew everybody's fucking mind. I mean, him announcing to the world that he's Iron Man was like, what the fuck? That, every superhero keeps a secret identity, And then saying something about the Avengers was like, what? Are they going to make an Avengers movie? What? No way,
Yeah.
And at the time, like, at least I don't remember there being like a huge deal about, they don't own the rights to X-Men. They don't own the rights to Spider-Man, Because, like I said, this is the first, movie that they made on their own, So, at least for me, I wasn't like, oh my god, who do they have the rights for? Who can be in it? What's going to happen? Like, it was just like, what? An Avengers movie? No way!
Yeah.
And then, like I said, a month later, the Incredible Hulk happened, and fucking Tony Stark shows up at the end. It's like, what the fuck? They're in the same universe? It was ridiculously mind-blowing. Like, for geeks and shit, you were just like, what? No way! Yeah. Edward Norton's going to be in an Avengers movie with Robert Downey Jr. I mean, obviously it didn't happen because he hated the experience for working with Marvel because they changed everything.
Right.
But yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I would have loved to have
Edward Norton.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, there was our podcast commentary on 2008 Marvel and Paramount's Iron Man, which really sparked the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
And now we have, 10 movies now, something like that?
Yeah, several more.
Yeah, and they're just keep on coming. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to stop now.
And I'm happy with that, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's especially now that they got the rights to Spider-Man to make movies with them, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we're going to try to do these in order. So obviously we started with Iron Man, we're going to do the Incredible Hulk next, and then Iron Man 2, and then Thor, and then Captain America, the First Avenger, and then Avengers. Then we'll move in. Then we'll do like a recap, like our top favorites. Like I think there's 6 altogether with Avengers in Phase 1. So we'll do maybe a video or podcast, whatever, on our top 6 list in order of what we like them in.
I think I already know, but
yeah, I think I already know too. But after we rewatch them and actually do commentaries, maybe I'll be like, hey, you know what? I enjoy doing commentary on that one more, so maybe I like it more.
Yeah.
But anyway, until then, we are your hosts, Movie Master Mike.
And the Boston Boy.
Reminding you to speak your geek.
Balance your geek.
With Geequilibrium.
the Jets.
Yeah, fuck the Giants.